Aluminium Shadow Poe!
Hello, welcome to the Bronze Age Monsters Shadow Show. This is a show that we have done almost every week now. We're bi-weekly. As I set my new kitten down, who's insane. And this is our 100th bonus episode.
Spectacular.
It's pretty exciting. It's right. This is a 100-page, super spectacular size of bonus episode. So this is very, very exciting. If you're with us this far, you know that I'm Jacob.
I'm Matt.
And yeah, this is, we've made a lot of shows, seen a lot of movies, had a lot of fun, told a lot of stories. But yeah, here we are, 100th one. Matt, how are you feeling?
Feeling good about it, we've been enjoying the pivot to the Shadow Show format since we went to bi-weekly on the main show. Decided to mix it up and kind of do a secret members only kind of version of the show, and it's been super fun. We've got good feedback from people, so I'm stoked on it. But having a great time with Ulysses Bloodstone so far, and I'm glad to throw one out here to the public. Just so this is going out in the podcast feed, an audio version and a video version is on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Bronze Age Monsters. If you want to check out what the video thing is like, and maybe if you dig this, you want to support us and go to Patreon, patreon.com/Bronze Age Monsters and support the show and get this every other week. So you're always getting some of our Bronze Age weirdness.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're a patron, I mean, you have access to everything, all 100 episodes of our bonus shows. We started doing them way back when we were Werewolf by Night podcast. Yep. We've done audio dramas. We've done all sorts of different things. So
I started making a list actually of this stuff, of gated content. I did a playthrough of a game book from the 80s, a Dracula game where you can choose to be Dracula or Jonathan Harker, and you just need a die and a piece of paper and a pencil. I did one of those. I want to throw one of those to you that's like a Marvel one, and have you record yourself like going through a Marvel adventure. And maybe put that out. We do our audio dramas. That people get first crack in Patreon. They get like them a month before other people do. All kinds of gated stuff like that. That's just for them. The audio drama that we did for the last Satana thing, I released an EP of all the original music that I did just for the background and stuff like that. So there's free music you get. You get all of our theme songs that Jacob and I write each season. You get those as MP3s to download if you want to keep those and have them for your collection. Cherished memorabilia. They're not guaranteed to go up in value, but I would be surprised if they didn't go up in value.
I think they're already worth more than when we put them out, honestly.
Better than a dumb plate with a president on it.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Unless that president's Kennedy. I have a lot of Kennedy plates.
Well, Kennedy stuff's cool. So we have a great time on here, and we started kind of by talking about werewolf movies back when we started doing this with the Man-Wolf season 2 of the podcast is when we started Patreon, and we talked about 50-some werewolf movies, and then in the Bronze Age buffet, we switched it up and started talking about a different monster movie paired with each issue we read, so a mummy or a golem or a whatever type movie. Right now, we're reading Creature Commandos in the main show, as you probably know, so we're rotating through all those types of creatures in our movies. So this week, after we talk about this Ulysses Bloodstone story, we're going to talk about a Dr. Medusa-themed movie that we watched, which is from the Philippines, a popular comics character over there named Zuma, who is the son of an Aztec god, and he's a villain, and he's a long-running character there that's in anthology comics and in his own book, and he's a beloved bad guy that people love reading about.
Yeah, that movie was a trip. And, a lot of the movies that we watch, I mean, they're not considered, we love them. We love the vast majority of them, I think, honestly. I mean, I think out of all the ones we chose, hasn't been too many stinkers. But, for the most part, we've watched movies that are pretty obscure. A lot of B movies, a lot of movies that people might consider bad movies. Some so bad they're good. Just we've done everything. Yeah. And I've really loved, I think, when did we start doing the watch-alongs? Was that last season, Son of Satan season?
That was Son of Satan, yeah. It's been going for a while.
Yeah, so we do this thing now where a lot of our patrons will join us for a watch along on Discord. And we watch, we'll watch the movies that Matt and I will later go on to review for the Shadow Show. But also, Matt, we've all just started to get together and just watch weirdo films just on the off weeks now.
Yeah, going to the bi-weekly format created an off week, and you and I realized we kind of missed having the Sunday wind down of our weekend of watching a weird movie with some of our friends on Discord. So yeah, those every other week now we're just watching something weird that I have, hopefully that has subtitles just from somewhere in the world that's a weird ass movie you would normally never see or have heard of, and we can just shoot the shit and watch something really bizarre together. So it's fun. We've got an Indonesian movie lined up for the next Psychotronic Sunday, which is, I believe the name translates to something like Delusion of the Female Demon or something like that. And it seems to be one of those kind of movies with the, there's a lot of those movies with the crossu or whatever, where there's the floating head, the witch head that detaches from the body and flies around through the jungle and does bad stuff. It's one of those kind of movies, which I love. So yeah, something weird that Americans would normally never, ever see or hear about.
Yeah, it's awesome. Because I know this is going to be a problem now. This is my new kitten, Moses, and there are a lot of wires for him to chew on around here. I may be jumping off and saying no at some point because he is a terror and all he does is destroy everything.
But we love Hannibal Lecter masks.
Seriously. Oh, that's a good idea for kittens. Yeah. That's amazing. I would kill for one of those right now. All right, so that's our new business venture now, Matt. Fuck this. Let's go. Let's make Hannibal Lecter masks for cats. Yes.
Nuzzles. Let's call them nuzzles.
See, we're done. The work is done. It's right there.
Yep.
TM that shit.
So if you are just checking this out as a sample, curious about the Shadow Show that you've heard about on the main show, just to catch up really fast, this is the kind of previously on. Ulysses Bloodstone is a guy who was 10,000 years ago was born. He was hunter of his tribe, and he walked into a cave, followed a hooded figure into a cave, found this strange octopus-headed cosmic deity. He had a strange blood red stone. It exploded. It got embedded in his chest, which gave him immortality. And since then, he has been a monster hunter, roving around the world, having great adventures we haven't been privy to yet. But he has a cool island, playset kind of island, it's almost like a shield base, but it's all his own. He has a friend named Brad Carter, who was a monster movie kind of hack B-movie actor, who's his man Friday. And they have cool adventures. And right now he's embroiled in something called the Conspiracy. There's some group that is trying to get the blood gem fragments for something not so good. And so he's trying to get to the bottom of this right now. He just had an adventure with Iron Man, and that just wrapped up in the last story. So this is the next chapter.
Yeah. So an artist, or at least the inker, for the last couple issues of Bloodstone has been a Filipino artist named Rudy Nebris, and he has been amazing. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of taught us a lot. Matt, you and I have learned a lot about inkers over the years now doing this. And, some are there to enhance the penciler's their style, exactly what they are. Some are like Rudy and just take that inks and just make it exactly into their own style, which, a lot of times, I don't know how the penciler would feel about that sometimes, or maybe they're just like, fuck it, I just got this job done. I don't care. Do whatever you want. You're a really talented guy. But yeah, Rudy had a very distinct style, no matter who was penciling him. I think we had both Buscema's pencil some issues of Bloodstone. And but Rudy reigned supreme. And his art was very, like Matt would call European. He's a Filipino artist. And if you've listened to the show at all, you know that Matt and I have a great love for the Filipino artists. And so, yeah, it was really exciting. But we get different art this time. So, yes.
Sorry, you missed one end of the spectrum on inkers. There's a far other end, which is where you don't want to ink all the stuff the penciler doing. You just erase some of it and just kind of half-ass things, not naming any names.
Yeah, not naming any names, but yeah, you're right. I think I was trying to put that out of my mind, but there are a few inkers that are very, very prevalent in the industry.
It's a lot of computer panels in this panel here.
Yeah. Yep. No. Kirby made a lot of machinery here. Fuck it. Let's just get rid of it. It's fine. But Yeah, so I don't know if you just want to jump into the issue or not, Matt.
I'm ready.
Okay, so the title of this...
I'm sorry, before we start, you and I will note that this story started off in Marvel Presents 1 and 2, probably didn't sell that well, or they didn't believe in it enough, and it got canceled. And then a couple years later, it jumped to Rampaging Hulk backup. And Jacob and I have been enjoying the beautiful art in the story so far, but a little bummed with how it's kind of big, dumb action, Flash Gordon-y kind of sci-fi goofiness, and we were missing the weird cosmic Lovecraftian elder god eldritch weirdness that was set up. And we're very happy to talk about this installment. There, I wanted to prime that.
Yes, definitely. And we were curious because we've read a lot of John Warner's works over the years, and we love John Warner. But yeah, it seems like jumping to, these are in black and white magazines, the Curtis magazines, which do not have to have the Comics Code seal of approval on it. So he's not constrained by anything. These are sold on newsstands, marketed towards adults. But yeah, Warner seemed to have just, like you were saying, Matt, just kind of dumbed down the style in a way that suddenly a lot of it feels like a Marvel 2-in-1. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, we were curious about why. But like you say, this is a different thing we're dealing with today. So I'm very excited, as I know you are.
Yes.
So, like I say, John Warner is our scripter. We have Val Mayerick on pencils. Val Mayerick, you may know, very loved and renowned artist, known for Man-Thing, lots of other cool stuff. Howard the Duck. So, Living Mummy is where we really enjoyed him. And but he's all over Marvel in the 70s. Right about this time, he's not doing a whole lot at Marvel right now this month. I looked up, he's just penciling an issue of Iron Man. Because this is August of 77?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, not doing a whole lot, but he's over at Warren. He's doing stuff at DC, so he's still staying really busy. But we are very happy to welcome back Sonny Trinidad, who is doing inking and finishing. So Sonny Trinidad, another wonderful Filipino artist that we have, I think we first saw back in, I don't know, Giant Size Werewolf?
I believe so, yeah, on the show.
Yeah, on the show, I think the last time we saw him was, or the first time we saw him was on Giant Size Werewolf. We've seen him a lot. We saw him on Son of Satan's title series. We saw him do a lot of cool stuff. So
he's been in the Shadow Show. He has
been in the Shadow Show. That's right. So yeah, we love Sonny, and we're really excited to have the combo of Mayerick and Trinidad as our art team, which is great. Also, Jim Novak letterer, veteran letterist, as I think no one says. And so let's jump into it. The story's called Return from Oblivion. And yeah, we start up right where we left off last issue. The cool, Flash Gordon serial vehicle is flying away and it says, Iron Man, can you pick us up? Are you all right? And then, Iron Man's like, just fine on both counts. They are just leaving Centurious Island as it is blowing up. And he's like, we just got off Centurious Island just in time. And then, we see Brad down there. And Brad is saying, just in time to bury too many unanswered questions under an island reduced to slag. So that island got done blowed up. So yes, they made their escape. And we get a story, and we're going to say goodbye to Iron Man, thankfully. Not going to lie.
Bye, Tone.
Yeah. See you later.
I love this rendition of the spaceship here.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Sonny. And I like that little inset of Brad as well. He looks very wistful, Brad's he might be a B-movie actor, but he's got a lot under the dome. He's got stuff going on.
He's got stuff going on. And, in all of the Rampaging Hulk stories, he's quite dashing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is an unfortunate depiction of him here we're going to see soon, but we'll worry about that later. We're not quite done with Iron Man yet. So Tony says, what about Bloodstone? I want to check with him later, but if he doesn't need me, I'd like to report back to Stark. Jacob? Report back to Stark?
I get it, right? A lot of winking going on there.
And Nick says, he just gave me the nod, Shellhead. See you around. So it's taken off, and they've got prisoners and everything, and everybody got out okay, but Centurious got away. Fury's not going to like that, thinks Tony. I just hope Bloodstone can come up with the answers Fury's going to want. Then inside of the SHIELD ship, I'm assuming, Brad says, hey, boss, why are you looking so glum? Didn't the good guys just win again? Ulysses says, I don't know, Brad. It was an empty victory and an incomplete one. Baffling, too. I love that close-up of him.
It's really cool.
Then we get a little flashback at the bottom, just recounts the fact that Luxel, the strange cosmic deity that accidentally bestowed immortal life to Bloodstone through the gem fragment embedded in his sternum, was murdered by Centurius, and then there was a whole throwdown going on, a secret war between Centurius and Luxel. So Ulysses is just kind of getting privy to the fact that there's this thing called the conspiracy, and everybody's playing these roles, all trying to get the blood gem fragments, and there's a big shadowy mystery going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, though Warner has dumbed down his prose a lot, we now see he has been moving the pieces.
Yes.
So we can see like now, because everything's kind of coming to a head this issue a bit, at least story-wise. So he's been working in the shadows all along, just trying to figure out, what's coming in. And a lot is coming in this issue. But yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces, a conspiracy, Luxel, which is great. He's one of our favorites. Goes on. So the next page, this is what I love about a different artist sometimes, is we'll get a different artist and then we'll have a flashback page to another issue where another artist did the work. Mm-hmm. So I love them. I love Sonny Trinidad's perspective on this. And I love how he just kind of has made it his own. Now, Luxel, I don't think he's looked this cool before.
No, and Sonny kind of defined him in Marvel Presents #2.
Definitely.
So this is a character that's kind of his design.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. But he looks way better.
Yeah.
He looks way better here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks amazing. And so, yeah, this next page, we just kind of are going through this flashback again, talking that Luxel was destroyed. And he's like, I didn't have much time to think of the implications then, because S.H.I.E.L.D's jumping down and there's laser guns going. There's fucking Mantis people. There's all sorts of crazy shit happened in the playset last issue. So, but then at the bottom, we get out of that flashback. Ulysses says the only two who possibly knew the answers are both dead. So, yeah, that's Luxel and Centurius. So he's thinking that they're not going to get any more answers anymore. But, then we see Brad saying, heads up, we're approaching our destination to another playset. Playset to playset. That's what I like.
Yeah. Direct route.
Yeah.
Isn't that Clay Quartermain? Isn't that S.H.I.E.L.D. giving them a lift home?
Oh, yes. You're right. They're still in their S.H.I.E.L.D. vehicle.
I love that bottom panel where it's unclear. Is that on the left? Is that Ulysses in flashback? It's the panel's divided. The left third is a flashback and the right is reality, like present.
I think so. And it's interesting that, like you say, the left is still flashback, but then we have a little tiny person in between the flashback and the kind of segue, the cool little segue to present day. It's a cool panel. It's a weird layout. I looked at it for a while.
I did too. It's almost like Ulysses in the center of it is almost like in a reflection. And it's cool because it's he's reflecting. I don't know if there's actually a reflective surface reflecting him back literally, but that's what it kind of suggested to me in a weird way, with the black inking behind him and the kind of striation where it almost looked like it's his reflection in glass, like he's back in the back part of the shield vessel or something. I don't know, but I thought it was really cool. I just stared at it for a long time.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, next page, we get this beautiful big view of Bloodstone Island. So when we say playset, we're saying a playset, man. This has towers. I mean, this almost looks like, was it Bespin Cloud City or whatever from Empire or Return of the Jedi or something? I'm trying to blank on the names, but.
It's Bespin Cloud City. And then, but also this playset is such grand scale, think Castle Grayskull, but 1,000 times cooler.
Yeah. This is several flying saucers stacked on a spindle or something like that, and 2 towers. And he says, it looks surprisingly peaceful. After seeing the shield file on you, I expected some incredible private arsenal, says Clay. Assuming that's Clay. And then all of a sudden, some guns come out of some hidden hatches and start shooting on them on cue. He says, hey, if I made a mistake, there are subtler ways of telling me, as he's dodging this fire. He says, I got news for you, buddy. Bloodstone isn't responsible, Brad says. Someone has invaded our island. But who? So the ship comes down and lands to check out what this strange attack was.
So this page has maybe one of my favorite moments of the issue, which is a laser that says "Zerb."
I did like that sound effect.
Yeah, but the reveal of Bloodstone Island. I mean, we've seen it before, and there's cool shit on it. But yeah, this was a great reveal.
Well, it's always fun to go on vacation, but it's great coming back home.
Yeah, especially when your home has lasers that say Zerb and is super cool.
On your own island, private island.
On your own island, named after you, by the way. Which I mean, if you had your own, wouldn't you name an island after you? I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Isn't that what white people do when they go out and find things that have already been found?
That is actually.
This is the Sandwich Islands. Wait, that's been taken.
Yeah.
Bloodstone Island. That's even better. Yeah, I really love that he has the defense mechanisms up, and that's the clue that someone's already home, right? Instead of smoke in the chimney, it's laser guns shooting at you.
Yeah, just like, wait a second.
Zerb.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, next page, the battle continues. Bloodstone's saying, Eric, blast me away into that lower deck. It's like, you got it, Bloodstone, but what's the purpose? And Bloodstone looking super badass, almost Conan in a way, just super angry and yelling, just open the vortex hatch now. Says, when I jump, get the ship out of range until I signal you. And yeah, this is amazing. I love, so Eric, he said.
Oh yeah, it's not Clay, it's Eric.
Yeah.
All right, my bad.
And he says, but I can't operate the vortex beam at this angle. And then, then Bloodstone just fucking jumps out. And I think this is Brad being like, save it, Eric. Bloodstone won't be heating it. And once he gets an idea into his head, he doesn't trip over himself to explain it to you. You learn to live with it. Little disappointed that he didn't use his gun to propel him from the vehicle.
His pogo gun?
His pogo gun? Because that would, I don't know. That would have been so audacious that I actually would have gotten behind it.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us for this adventure here, a vortex beam is a reverse tractor beam that S.H.I.E.L.D. has invented. So it slowly lowers you to the ground instead of sucking you up into the ship. It lowers you from the ship.
Reverse tractor beam. God damn, you gotta love that. But yeah, so Bloodstone's just fucking leapt off of the craft. But of course, he's just like, I hope I've calculated this right. A fall clear to the ground wouldn't hurt me, but it would be rather humiliating. Because he has lived for 10,000 years, we kind of are getting the rules a little bit. Like, he can get hurt, he can drown, but he can't die. The more that we kind of tried to figure out and run scenarios about him getting hurt but not dying was horrifying. So I think we stopped doing it.
Yes, and I remember when we read Samantha Eden, the reporter's notes on Bloodstone a couple episodes ago, she explained how the helix, the Bloodstone helix, works, and it's almost like that famous X-Men annual or whatever, where Wolverine gets like destroyed down to like one blood cell and then slowly heals back. Essentially, that's what will happen. So you can beat the shit out of him and just cut this guy up, quarter him, drown him, set him on fire. He will grow back, but he needs time.
Yeah, it's not going to be pleasant, when he's a brain with a spine attached. It's like, he'll get better, but not ideally what you would want to do.
So he was like pinned underwater by a giant kaiju monster, and he was saying like, I can't die, but I could just be under here like drowning, but not dying, which was scary to us.
Yeah, it's super scary. Yeah, Gorham. Gorham. Not sure we're going to run into him again.
I don't know.
So, well, you know what? We thought we wouldn't last time, and then he just poked his giant head up again, saying, I am Gorham! Yeah. So who knows? Maybe he'll be back. But, Ulysses is airborne. I do love that he's jumping and kind of flying through the hole in his playset, saying like, oh, someone has entered my premises. If they've hurt Miss Eden. And then he goes, I like that I want to imagine that he leapt, and as he was almost about to hit, he grabs the lever and pulls as he does his landing. Yeah, which would be amazing, and I wouldn't put past him. So he says, first I'll have to cut the power feed.
Great depictions of him on this whole page. Like you said, that second panel, very like Buscema Conan. Like it is gorgeous.
Yeah, so good. He looks great through the whole issue for the most part. I think maybe one or two panels were slightly suspect, but for the most part, Ulysses looks amazing. You're right. There's a couple Brad ones that are iffy.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah, he's entered his, see, I pictured that, by the way, Jacob. I pictured that like him like free falling like 50 feet from the shield thing and like grabbing the top of the torn metal and just like swinging into the hole and then pulling the thing down like all in one smooth motion. Because he's that cool.
He is that cool.
And I did appreciate the panel breaks on the middle and the bottom right where his boot's going and then his hands kind of breaking the panel a little bit there. I always love when someone's playing with a medium like that.
Oh, it looks great.
So he hears some footsteps. And he says, they must be coming to inspect the damage. Who are you? And then out of the shadows, I love this panel where she's almost entirely in shadow. Bloodstone. You see a female form come out. Step out of those shadows and reveal yourself. Very He-Man looking on that one. We got a little cliffhanger there, although I don't think anyone would be surprised at the reveal of who this is later, because who else would it be? We've only met like 3 people. So we cut to Geneva. And it's an isolated lakeside city, an economic hub. And so we go inside Interpol headquarters. And they said, gentlemen, you have all read the dossier. There's a bunch of guys sitting around a big table with a big view over the city. And then they up on the projector on the carousel, they bring up a slide and you see Ulysses Bloodstone projected up there with a bunch of cigarette smoke going through the, through the light of the slide projector. This man's name is Ulysses Bloodstone. He is a globe-trotting, independently wealthy adventurer. A soldier of fortune, one whose certain world powers have asked us to investigate. And he looks amazing. That's Bryan Cranston playing that guy, by the way. But I love that picture of Ulysses Bloodstone holding the gun, like just this candid shot of him, like, oh, what, this gun? Oh, this fucking gun? And then they advance this carousel to the next slide, and he's got his hands on his hips. And you can see, I mean, his shirt front's always open. You can always see the red blood gem in his chest. But this one's like especially close up on him. And he's pointing the pointer right at the bloodstone. Very little is known about him. He does have one distinguishing physical characteristic. This is a glowing gem implanted in his chest. We assume it is merely an example of his unique eccentricity. So they think he's just like some David Bowie persona who's just like, yeah, I just had this thing surgically implanted because it's cool. And I just run around the world and do stuff because I've accrued wealth over 10,000 years.
Well, he probably is a bit of a rich weirdo as well. But yeah,
like
they don't quite. It is like vampires.
Right? You just acquire, there's no poor vampires. Not the smart ones.
No. Yeah, no, I love this. And, we ran into this before, right? Where it was all like guys sitting around in a room and being like, we have to investigate. Was it Interpol? Was that the last time? Was just like a repeat of that? Or that was like something involved with a conspiracy, right?
Yeah, that was the bad guys.
Those are the bad guys. And they were almost saying the same thing. They're just like, we are investigating. We're having people investigate. So yeah, maybe they're using Interpol. Maybe the conspiracy goes that deep.
Jacob, Bloodstone ruffles feathers. Okay.
He does.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Your first panel here is the one that upset me.
Yeah, it's not good. So on this next page,
Yoda with a wig.
There's Yoda with a wig. That is perfect. And it is fucked up because Brad is dashing. He's a matinee idol. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he looks just horrifyingly bad there. But I like, maybe it fits the thing because the Interpol guy that's running the presentation is like, his closest aide, Brad Carter, American, a fading pretty boy monster movie actor with no political ties. And he talks about how, Bloodstone was briefly involved in the film. He has an island, and this island enjoys the autonomy of a political entity. Which, have we heard that before?
No.
I don't think we have.
A seat in the UN?
He has a seat in the UN, basically. So I was like, that's cool. Maybe they're just like, this guy hasn't been here in a long time. We need to make sure his island is still... Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, and they said this before. If he has a citizenship, no one knows what it is. And everyone's worried.
I love that. Mm-hmm. He's so old. He predates countries, so he has no political or country of origin.
No, he doesn't. I guess, it's so cool. And then he says, the guy says, that's where we come in. And then a woman comes in and says, I'm sorry, Mr. Koenig. Being left alone after witnessing Killer Shrike's attack, I familiarized myself with the defense controls. And so he's like, Mr. Bloodstone, if I abuse the free reign, so we've jumped
Yeah, I know.
We've jumped back to, it's not
every
weird.
time I read this.
I know.
Yes.
I made a fucking note and I still did it. So yes, there was it's just a hard jump.
Yep.
No, training wheels to get you to that next thing. And so yes, we've jumped back to Bloodstone Island. This is, Samantha Eden who was talking, who was in the shadows, now revealed herself. And she said that, yeah, being left alone after witnessing Killer Shrike's attack, she familiarized herself with the defense controls because she's a fucking badass. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I'm sorry if I abused the free reign you gave me on this base. But Brad, still looking pretty fucking bad, says, good old Sam always keeps them jumping. So yeah, then it's Bloodstone doesn't mind. He says, forget it, Miss Eden. I applaud your resourcefulness. However, I will be asking you to leave with Eric. Don't misunderstand. I still intend to grant you an interview. But first, I'd like you to consider coming to work for me as a research agent and public relations coordinator. So this is a big deal. He says, the world has become smaller and smaller communications-wise. It is no longer practical for me to operate under a cloak of secrecy. But in going public, I need someone to safeguard my, image. And she kind of has this, shocked look on her face. And he's like, please think it over.
I love this note. Like, he's smart enough to know the modern world to be like, there's no way I can remain in the shadows anymore. So if I'm going to be out there, I want to control the narrative and like have someone who's savvy and knows what she's doing and is smart and communications, wise to do it. Like that's just these cool notes, man. Like this is the Warner we've been wanting the whole time where he's been punching, whatever, fighting Killer Shrike or whatever, like just the kind of silly stuff.
Yeah, no, you're right. This is this was a welcome change. It's back to kind of political intrigue and cool and being more with his origin and the more cosmic stuff. Like you're right. This is what we've wanted all along and we have not gotten it.
No, I wouldn't say it's been a fallow run in the magazine so far, but it's because it's gorgeous to look at, but it's just been a little wanting and a little Saturday matinee. Saturday matinee serial, like for us. And so now we're finally kind of digging back in and we see Warner talking about the stuff that got him excited when he made the character a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. So we get a very manga-esque Samantha Eden on the next page. She says, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to say. He says, don't think it over. It will not be an easy job. And Brad's thinking, wow, I think old Rockhart is taken with Sam. Old Rockhart. Been waiting for an epithet this whole time because he knew Brad has a whole roster full of them, right? Oh, Rockhart.
Rockhart.
So he says, I'll be in touch. In 2 days, I'll be arriving in New York City. I will make arrangements for you to join me. So she leaves, and in a few minutes in the central control chamber, Brad's watching them take off, and he's seeing the damage to the tower. He's looking at all the monitors, all the stuff that's going on. And, I never had a chance to check out the last damages we sustained because when they were attacked last time, there was quite a bit of damage that took place. He says, well, we may have some expensive repair bills, but the tower is not going to fall in on us. Giving kind of Ulysses his full report here. And Ulysses just looks kind of beat in that bottom left panel. He's like got his hand on his head and he looks tired and a little gaunt. He's like, Brad, excuse me, I'm going into the meditation chamber. Please see that I'm not disturbed until my session is over. Yeah, sure. Don't you worry. So he leaves in this last panel. I love just white background. You see Brad's profile as he's watching him walk off and he thinks something's eating him. I can tell something inside. So it's almost like he shoved down the stuff we were excited about, the cosmic and the whatever, down while he was punching stuff and doing Flash Gordon-y things, and now it's time to pay the piper. Now he's got to go and meditate and deal with all the weird shit that he suppresses all the time. I'd be excited.
I would be excited too. Well, he did a lot of quipping the last couple issues, so it's time for some intellectual time that he's going to have alone with his thoughts.
You use your right hand or your left hand for that?
Yeah. All right, next page, narration says, and as Brad Carter puzzles over his employer's problems in a hospital in New York City, others are puzzling over problems of their own. And we see here is we see Killer Shrike, right? Yeah. So we see Killer Shrike in a hospital bed, and some doctors and men of stature of some sort is saying, there he is, but I'll be darned if I can figure out what to do with him. He was delivered to NYPD anonymously. And so they don't think he's committed a crime. He's in a coma. Doctors say he's going to be fine, but they say legally we don't even have the right to unmask him. So
is that just 616 stuff? Like, that's not real. Like, if you just got dropped off in a mask in real New York City, would they just leave in a mask and say we don't have, like, is that true?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that's 616. Okay. I mean, I think that was probably, I'm pretty sure old Stan and Jack figured that out a long time ago.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's funny every time, especially when he's like in a hospital and there's like police officers all around. They're like, well, we don't know. They're like, well, you can unmask him. Nope. No, we can't. Sorry. Our hands are tied. She's going to be there in a coma with his mask on.
I love that, but I also love the thing that they would do, Ditko would do with that, where like, or it's happened throughout like Spider-Man and other books like that, but like when like he's unmasked and it's like New York City and it's like he's just a kid. You know, people are like, who is he? And like, I don't fucking know. It's New York. How many millions of people live here?
Exactly. That's the same thing with this. It's just like, and that's what was so wonderful about Ditko is he's like, yeah, dumbass, you're going to unmask him. You're not going to know who he is.
Yeah. Why would you
know? They
unmask
him right here. They're just like, oh, no, you're right. He's some dude. He's some dude we don't know. He's in a coma. Hope he'll get better.
Oh man.
But one of the cops says, you say he'll recover from his coma? One says, yes, it's funny. His injuries were relatively minor. The coma seems to be a symptom of emotional trauma. I love the reaction that this hardened cop gives to where he's just like, emotional trauma. And then the next time he says, well, we have quite a mystery here. It is imperative, though, that when he does come to, we convince him we know everything. Is that understood? So they have that cop trick. They can't unmask him, but they still have their cop tricks up their sleeves.
Look, we already know what you did. We just want to hear it from you. This page, I don't know why it made me laugh quite a bit. Although I love that middle panel with Shrike in the foreground. That is gorgeous.
It's really cool looking. It is.
Okay. So in the background on that last panel, who is that? In the ship?
It looks like Bloodstone's ship, right?
Yes, he already, like he said, I'm going to be, but he's not. He's on his island in his meditation chamber.
Yeah,
I was kind of confused by that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Sonny kind of fell prey to, the style choices being made, and that was supposed to just be a normal jet, but it's like, no, it's a jet of the future. Everything's from the future.
I was like, well, I mean, who would have dropped him off? Did Bloodstone drop him off when he went to visit Tony Stark? That would make sense, right?
That would make sense, yes.
So it's not him because he's back on his. I just was so confused by that. Okay, now for the rest of the story, we get some awesomeness. This next page here, man, I fucking love this. It's a full splash page with 3 like shattered panel, like gem facet insets on the top row. They're making a top row, but it's all one piece. I love it. And then we get to see Bloodstone in the lotus position levitating. And then there's just all this like wispy, like it almost looks like waves or like energy just whipping around him like some Doctor Strange thing. Like Brunner or Ditko, Doctor Strange, where it's just like he's just meditating and he's transported. So it says his name is Ulysses Bloodstone, and he now floats. His body sits cross-legged in a large, empty, soundproof chamber on Bloodstone Island. It breathes in measured, rhythmic ohms. But Bloodstone floats, his mind drawn above and carried along on astral winds. His life passes before him in a slow, simmering sea. It's been a long 10,000 years. And just all these are just the camera, like a drone camera, just kind of flying around as he's levitating and meditating. And this energy seems to be kind of building up and getting more and more like crescendoing and getting more powerful. And then the bottom, it appears like he explodes like in an astral energy or something like that. So like he looks like Firelord or like Adam Warlock or something weird. Like all you see is this blood gem, an explosion, and then his face. And the rest seems to be like astral fire or something. It's so weird. It says, but suddenly Bloodstone feels his astral self ganked off its present plane and drawn irresistibly beyond its limits. The imagery of his trance is destroyed, for only from destruction comes change. So we got Warner doing a philosophical thing now, so we know good stuff's coming.
Right as this happened. And think of last time Warner and Trinidad were together, doing the more cosmic shit with the Son of Satan title. Yeah. Like, oh, goddamn. Yeah, this combo. No, once I turned to this page, I was just like, yes, I knew,
so was I.
I knew the rest of the issue was going to be gold. And it is. Every fucking page until the end is gold.
Yep.
This one is just brilliant. I was just like, wow, you can't top this page. And then I just turned to any of the other pages.
Right. And I will say, I have no problem with black and white art, but I almost wish this sequence could have been in color, just because it would have been even more psychedelic.
Yes. No. I fully agree. I would love to have seen it in color.
Like, it's weird them talking about the bloodstone fragments and stuff like that, and you know it's this glowing, like, crazy red ruby thing, and you don't get to see it. It's always kind of blue ballsy for me.
It is a bit. But next page we see that after that explosion, finds himself elsewhere, no longer in control of the imagery. And what we see is a giant kaiju-sized Luxel who has Bloodstone in his grasp. And so the narration in parentheses is a Luxel.
I thought that was the...
or is it the narrator?
I thought it was the Neo Mind, or that thing's called.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're right. It is the Neo Mind. And so, Bloodstone looks up and we see the triangle with an eye in it. And he says, that is why you are here. You came seeking answers. There are 5. 5 is the number of your destiny. And then we see the 5 there, shadowy figures. So cool. And it said, yet in 10,000 years, you've never seen any of it, never understood that as with everything, there is so much more than what you perceive on the surface. Here are 5. 1 is gone now, but will soon be replaced. They form the conspiracy. I will reveal it all to you now. And so we see this. Oh, it's just fucking awesome. So you got the eye in the pyramid, the 5, little hexagon shape behind them. And then I love that you have Bloodstone, looking back as his hair's being, whipped back with the force. He's like, who are you?
This page to me was like the opening of Twin Peaks: The Return.
Pretty much, right?
It's like I want to start writing down everything the fireman's saying. Like,
I know. Just like, oh,
Richard
everything matters.
And Linda,
yep.
It is in our house now. Like, this is all important.
Drink for Twin Peaks.
Yeah, drink for Twin Peaks. Damn. So the art I feel like it just keeps leveling up, like what's being depicted and how it's being drawn. These irregular panels just like enforcing this weird otherness of this plane. But like we've seen Bloodstone use his third eye power, so we've seen this triangle, like the third eye thing. So he's tied into this because he has the Bloodstone in him, so it affects him. So he's of it and from it in that kind of way, and that's why he has all these powers. That third panel of those cloaked figures, and it's just like whipping around like that movie Legend or something like that, like slow motion cherry blossoms. Like, it's just absolutely epic fucking badass visuals. God damn. So we get a 2-page spread next, which is amazing.
Jesus.
Starts up with the upper left-hand corner of Bloodstone just screaming no. And then the voice continues to him, why do you deny what merely is? Can anything be that strange to a man who has walked this earth for 100 times 100 years? I do not have a convenient visual for your mind to associate. I have created as close an image here as is possible. I am known as Exomind. That's what it is. I am, if you will, the ego or id of the original other-dimensional blood gem helix. I speak through all the blood gem fragments, including the one in your chest. So that's creepy. So it's like vibrating in his chest as it talks. I was magically born when a race of gods, I think your word is, of another dimensional reality created the blood gem to conquer other dimensions. Again, like, get me a pen, dude. Like,
Yes.
this is massive info dump. So,
Yeah.
narratively, we have all this amazing stuff going on. And this, I mean, fucking blacklight poster drank right here, my friend.
Hell yes.
So we're seeing a giant explosion that almost looks like the same type of explosion that happened when Ulysses breached his physical form and started going to this plane, and like he was exploding. And it almost looks like that Green Lantern that's a planet. You know that one? Remember?
Oh yeah, the Alan Moore one. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like this spheroid with a giant gem and all these things shooting out of it, and there's shadows of the heads of the five disembodied and just floating above it in shadow with just whites for eyes. You can see Alexa's one of them because he has and there's just hints of like other life forms like beyond our ken. Like we can't even wrap our heads around them. We've seen Alexa. The other ones are too weird for us even to understand. And even Exomind's like, you can't possibly understand this. This is the dumbest I can make this for you to even wrap your feeble little brain around it. And in the bottom right, Ulysses is just looking absolutely badass. Like he looks like the Flash, like coming to a stop after sprinting around the world like 10 times in 2 seconds.
He does. That's a perfect way of describing it.
God,
yeah. I know this 2-page spread. Every time I turned a page at the last half of this issue, is just like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's so good. This is one where this is the first time in Rampaging Hulk where I'm like, kind of want the floppy of this. I kind of want a real version of this to peek through. Yeah, it's so cool on newsprint. Not on the trade paperback paper, but yeah.
Oh, you want the real shit?
I want the real shit on this
Rampaging Hulk 4.
I want Rampaging Hulk 4.
I would almost frame this 2-page spread.
Seriously, right? Just get it out of there and frame it. How great would that be? So, but yeah, it just keeps getting better. Even on this next page that we go to a 4-panel page, it's still amazing because every one of these 4 panels is incredible. So again, what is it? The Exomind? What is it? Yeah, Exomind is saying, Aluxel was created by me as a guardian as per the wishes of the elders. They need 5 such guardians to complete the ritual necessary for their crossing of dimensions. You're right. You just are furiously scribbling all this down. It's like, whoa, hold on. Just give me a second. Because this is like an epic tomes of lore are being dumped here in like 2 pages. And so, he goes on to say, these elders came from an alien universe where chaos rather than order is the binding force of the cosmos. It is a universe of suffering and squalor. And so to depict this, what do we have like these men coming out of an ocean and just kind of painfully clawing themselves up to land. Like maybe that they're crawling to like the very little island of order that is in this universe is what I was thinking.
And they look simple, right? Like primeval or like they just like unmen or something. Like they just look bedraggled and like they don't even have clothes because the world is so chaotic. They haven't even gotten that far in society, civilization yet.
No. Yeah, it's so cool. Goes on to say, and it is just such a universe they would make yours. They are not evil. It is their natural state of being. So I love that. I was like, oh shit. All right. I love when it's not personal at all. Warner has such a cool way of being philosophical in a way that, I just haven't seen anyone else, especially in comics, do that. Gerber does cosmic great, obviously. Maybe he's the best at cosmic stuff, probably. But yeah, he's just, I don't know. I love Warner's philosophies. I just think they're so cool.
Like the stroke of the pen right there. They're not evil. Like, so he's saying like, whatever your fucking good guys, bad guys, cowboys, Indians, cops and robbers shit, it doesn't apply here. Like it's so beyond that trying to even put that lens to it to understand this, you're lost already. You've already lost.
That's what I loved it because it seemed like he had to clarify that because he was like, their universe is chaos, rather than order. And you could probably see, like Bloodstone, like kind of shaking his head. And he's like, nope, you don't even get it. You can't even begin to understand this. Like, let me try and dumb it down for you. They're not evil. It's their natural state of being. Yep. He says, I have no interest in the outcome of the game. Shall we say that on a whim, I have chosen to lessen the odds in order to make the odds more interesting. Which again, I love so his whole motivation is boredom.
Just keeping it interesting.
He's just like, this is boring. Like I gotta fuck shit up. I gotta keep it a little interesting. Keep my attention.
Yeah, but he's also created as a guardian on the threshold between worlds. So, yeah, I mean, just wrapping your head around it's just bananas.
It's so cool.
And I love that last panel of like the clawed hand like reaching over our world. Mm-hmm. The shadowy figures in the background. So good. Okay, so we need a little break. Let's touch some grass, you know. Mm-hmm. Have Coke and a smile here, kind of come back to earth. So we come back to Brad on the base, on an inspection, checking out the damage from the last big battle there. He says, well, the chunk Gorham tore out of the crown section didn't damage anything vital. It's surprising it took out anything at all up here. It's nothing but reinforced armored plates. So he's flying around this little like Jetsons like scooter disc thing, hover board disc. And he flies by this awesome like array of rifles and weird ass guns that Ulysses has mounted on the wall. Everything okay in all the primary levels, and just guns in the foreground, like it's just gun town. And he says, well, I might as well get the structural stress readouts back up on here on the crow as he gets dumped off of the his little hover thing. He says, hey, who slipped whatever it was? He says, hey, who slipped what? It's so hard to me to say.
It is.
It's hard for me to read, too, the first time. Hey, who slipped what into whatever it was I ate or drank? Say that 5 times fast.
It's very clunky.
So, yeah, this scene break, well, I didn't mind getting a break from the cosmic overload of, joy, was weird to me. It felt very clunky.
It is. I mean, I did like it, anytime that we can, get a interlude with Brad riding his hover bike. And I did love that. I mean, Ulysses is always very well armed, so we shouldn't be shocked by that second panel. Right. But you're right. Like Brad hovers through Guntown. He doesn't even look. He's like, yep, everything's fine here. I've seen these 2,000 guns before. So yep, everything's good. Gorham didn't touch the guns.
Very, very effective panel and like art and words together to convey quite a lot with one sentence and one drawing.
Yeah, really cool. But yeah, so we find out what happens on the next page. So Brad's like, so this is weird. Whenever something's weird, it usually means Bloodstone's involved. And so he's you can imagine he's kind of like woozy and kind of, veering. And he goes and he's like, right on cue, those energy bands are attacking Bloodstone. And he's so deep in a trance, he doesn't even realize. I've got to try and pull him out of there. And so, yeah, we see Bloodstone in the lotus position floating. And yeah, there are these strange, beams of energy that are like trying to pierce his force field there. And he goes to touch one of them and gets thrown back. Yow! And Bloodstone says, Brad, are you all right? He says, I don't know. Am I all in one piece, or is just my head over here? What in blazes was that anyways?
Didn't this happen to him in Marvel Presents too also?
Yes. Okay. The exact same thing happened to him in Marvel Presents. Okay. Not a big memory on him. But
guppy.
Yeah. But then Bloodstone's like, the energy was the manifestation of an entity called Exomind, and it was not malevolent, merely protective. And you think Brad's like, Exo what? like he's putting his hand on Brad's shoulder, like, don't worry, little baby. This stuff is happening. This is way above your head. I'm going to try and explain it to you. He says, this thing, I think to manipulate what it perceives as a game, told me what the conspiracy is. It confirms my greatest fears. We must prepare ourselves, Brad, for a deadly war. Now, he looks a little strange in that last panel. Is it
his eye work? Does he have a glass eye? Does he have 2 glass eyes?
Well, suddenly it's a Columbo. Yeah. I'm just like, I don't understand. He's just like, one more thing, Brad.
Alexa, my wife loves you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. It also looks like it's weirdly like out of focus or something. Like it's so strange. I couldn't figure out what was, because you'd have to really deliberately try to do everything in that panel.
It's one of those things where if you cover up half of his face, it looks fine. If you cover up the other half of his face, it looks fine, but together they look wrong.
Yeah, really, really strange.
The eyes don't work together.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. And then that last panel to me, like I read that like 3 times, like this thing, I think to manipulate what it perceives as a game, told me what the conspiracy is. Like,
yeah.
Okay. So did he just come out? Sorry for all the belabored Twin Peaks references. Did he just come out of the Black Lodge with like a bunch of stuff like Coop did that we don't know until episode 18? Like,
yep. He came out and he's like, let's go.
All right. I am the FBI.
Yeah. Drink.
Okay. Wrapping up here with the final 2 pages. So, apologue, that must be French. It says, Epilogue, the Aéroport de Marseille-Marignan, just outside the sprawling city of Marseille, France. We see a plane landing. Air France Flight 402 has just arrived from New York, and we see Samantha outside saying taxi with some lovely 1977 bell-bottoms. And, I don't want to get all nostalgic on you, Jacob, but I saw these bright lights in a French airport, and I couldn't help but think of my friend the werewolf and how angry he would be at those lights right now.
Right? I was almost going to start saying a lot of stuff. I'm like, nope, that was Orly. He was at Orly Airport.
Oh, it was Orly. You're right. It was Orly.
Yeah. But no, with this, I know the same thing. I was just like, where's Jack? Is he scared on the tarmac?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Quasimodo just died, so he's crying somewhere. Okay, so at the bottom of the page here, she's carrying her bag to her place, and she's thinking to herself, it seems like ages since I was last home, but perhaps this will not be home much longer if I take Bloodstone up on his offer. And why shouldn't I? It's the opportunity of a lifetime, the kind of appointment any journalist would jump at. And she's entering her room, and we see it's bathed in shadow. She's almost entirely in shadow. It's just light from the hallway coming in, beautifully composed. And behind the door, you see eyes, part of a leg, and a glint off of a gun. And she thinks, I do want it. And yet I feel a little strange about it, too. I mean, what do I really know about him? And then she enters, and she thinks, maybe I'm just afraid of getting, and then she realizes someone's grabbed her, and she says, what? She drops her bag, and he says, quietly, my dear. Still just the glowing eyes, like such like a Scooby-Doo kind of way of portraying that. I loved it.
It is. It might as well be eyes in a painting back there or something. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's very cool. I did like this. Anytime we can spend some quality time with Samantha Eden, I am all for it. So, yeah, final page. We get our mystery man who says, first off, please be assured that I am, in my own unorthodox way, a gentleman. That still means scary.
With his hand around
his neck. Yeah, with his hand around her neck. He's like, I am unorthodoxly, I'm a gentleman still, but just not the kind of gentleman you're thinking. So it's scary. No one wants to hear that. He says, I'm not here to commit any crimes of a personal nature, Samantha. Yeah. Yes, I do know you, or rather of you, and I come to speak to you of a certain Ulysses Bloodstone. Now do promise not to scream, and I'll release my beastly hold on your throat. So yeah, this guy's super creep.
Yeah. He's like, what's his name from the Avengers? Pretty vibe I got off him. Steed, or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bowler hat,
yeah, a bowler hat, exactly. So, yeah, and Samantha's like, I won't scream, but I have no idea who this Bloodstone is. And he's like, come, we both know better, don't we? My name, incidentally, is Domino, and now we'll discuss everything you know about Bloodstone, or I shall be most regrettably disposed to shoot you. It's like the 6th clunky sentence in this issue.
Terribly sorry.
Terribly sorry. I'm regrettably disposed. It's so weird. And then, yeah, so we get our teaser for next issue, which I actually am excited about now.
Yeah.
And it says, next issue, Bloodstone in New York, a room full of death. More of the mysterious Domino, plus Killer Shrike, Viper, and the Modular Man. Be here for Sweet Fear. And there are exclamation points after every sentence in that teaser.
And they earned it.
They do earn it. Every sentence should be yelled. So yeah, and I love the The sweet fear I thought was really cool. So you have the fear, like normal, like kind of scary letters, but then the sweet, I think almost is mirroring like 60s and 70s, like hotel font in a way, which I thought was very cool. I was like, that's a really cool touch.
And do we know Viper and the Modular Man? Are these characters that are already established in the world?
I don't know.
Like,
I didn't
Viper's
recognize
part of the Serpent Society, right? Is that the? I'm thinking of somebody else.
I would think so, but I really hope, like you and I always say with these things, I'm like, please don't bring mainstream 616 into this. Yeah. Let's just keep it cool. We don't have, we were bummed out when Iron Man showed up. We were just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So, let's just stay in our own cool little Bloodstone universe as long as we can.
Let's take a nice rut and just stay in it.
Mm-hmm. Serious.
Okay, so final thought time.
Well, Jesus, I mean, this was I was getting down. I was getting a little down on these issues. Not that they were bad. The art's been great. Rudy has been bringing great art. Warner's writing has not been good. It's been kind of cornball, but I didn't realize how much I had missed the cosmic weirdness that we know that Warner is capable of. So when the second half of this issue happened, I was just like, I just sunk comfortably back in my chair and was just like, thank God. Here, this is something that we can, sink our teeth into. This is stuff that you and I love. This is the stuff we gravitate toward. And so, reading this, I'm all in again on Bloodstone. And I was getting a little bored.
I don't know if I was getting bored, but I was settling into so this is what this is, apparently. Yeah. I think I mentioned this on the last Final Thoughts. I was just like, it's weird because Warner wrote this kind of impassioned letter at the end of Marvel Presents #2, kind of explaining I had this big cosmic, grand epic story, and I was so bummed I can't tell it. And then we were so excited to move on and have magazine level art from Filipino people, and then it was just kind of this is it? You're going to punch a giant dragon guy and then you're going to have somebody named Killer Shrike? Okay, I was happy looking at it and I'm happy to talk about it, whatever, but the second half of this story was just my soul just eased into a big hot bubble bath with a box of bonbons and, painted his toenails. Yeah. It was happy time for me. So, very excited that this is going as weird as it is. And I'm oddly happy that Killer Shrike and some of these weird things are in here because I don't necessarily need it to be 100% ayahuasca trip all the time. It's more special when it's just dropped in and there's just weird beats or like this thing where that was Vegemite, right? We just got story Vegemite just crammed down our throats. There's 5 and blah, all this stuff. Okay. Let me digest this a little bit, I'm going to start tripping in a few minutes once it hits my bloodstream. So go ahead and have a guy talk about being beastly while he's got his hand around a woman's throat while I'm still coming back down to earth and getting back to physical form again.
Yeah, it's such a good point about just you're right. I was just kind of resigned to it. It was just one of those well, I got her pregnant or dad's giving me a job at the factory. So, I guess this is life. I guess I can do this. This will be fine, right?
Bowling league or something.
But yeah, I'll join the bowling league, maybe the Rotary Club. Yeah. It's fine. This is a fine life. Yeah. But then your astral form explodes. And then suddenly you're like, nope, there's more. There's more to this universe. So I'm all about those trips.
Yeah, then when you're leaving your bowling league night, you from alternate universe with an eye patch on and a shotgun strapped to his back says, Matt, it's other Matt. We have to go.
What? Just follow me. Don't ask questions.
So I was happy that eye patch Matt showed up in that bowling alley parking lot this issue. That gave me hope and faith in life again.
Right. Me too.
So yeah, I'm loving it. I was enjoying it before for what it was and just looking at the pretty pictures and whatever, but this definitely woke something up deep inside of me. So I say bring it on. Bring on the cloaked figures levitating in nether space and whatever. Bring it. Bring it.
Exo Mind all the way.
Exo Mind, yes.
So, okay, how many more chapters do we have in this saga?
So there's 5, 6, 7, and 8, but it doesn't appear in one of those. So 3 more.
We have 3 more, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah. And spoilers, there's not a happy ending. So
anyone with a Wikipedia can figure that out. But yes, not a pleasant ending.
yes, if you are like our age and you probably read the official Book of the Dead, the Marvel Handbook of the Dead, I love those.
I loved that thing so much.
So my first picture of this guy is the panel where his life ends. So that is literally what I knew of him from like 1987 on. So
I mean, I'm sure I did too. I don't remember it specifically, but I loved that book.
yeah, those are always my favorite. Like that's where I kind of fell in love with Scourge. All those panels of Scourge doing his thing. Yeah. So cool. I can't wait for the next installment. It is going to end here pretty soon. But yeah, so folks, this is kind of the sense of what we do. We go through it like this. We kind of read through it a bit. We talk as we go. The video version, if you want to check this out. So if you're just listening in the podcast, in the show notes, there is a link to the YouTube of this. So if you want to see the art, we've been showing the art through the whole thing. I'll drop in some dumb GIFs. I do some little sight gags and stuff throughout this whole thing. So we tarred it up a bit, and we definitely show the art because that is why we're doing the video versions. We want to share the art of some of these weird things. So after we wrap on the Bloodstone saga, and we're going to take a couple weeks off. We decided we're going to just talk about movies and books and Jacob's Tales from the Library and Matt's musings, and we have a Kickstarter catch up we have to do. We still need to read the Council of Frogs, that book that we got. So we have some stuff to do. So we're going to space these out a little bit. But after the Bloodstone saga ends, we're going to pick up some odds and ends. I've been collecting a list, Jacob, of cool stuff that I thought we could talk about. Can we talk about it real fast?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to hear.
Okay, so I'm just going to get a list here, and I want you to kind of let me know like if any of these sound dumb or if like you would want to add anything to this list. But I thought it'd be really fun to bounce around some of these weird things. So here we go. So I was thinking, we talked on the last episode when we decided we were going to do this. So we're not going to commit to any long things. We might read something and then like a 4-issue arc or something and talk about it, but we're not going to probably hit long runs of things in the Shadow Show. It's more of a, since our days are kind of numbered here, we're going to kind of bounce around and just try stuff that we maybe would have got to if we were immortal like Ulysses and could do this show till the end of time. So we're going to start with Gabriel the Devil Hunter from Haunt of Horror. I would love to check out an issue of Deathlock the Demolisher. I've always wanted to read that. Are you familiar with Wood God?
No.
He's an odd character. Okay, so I think he's from like Wundagore or something, but he's a satyr. And I was obsessed with him when I was a kid. You've probably seen him. He pops up now and again. I think he's associated with what's that thing Pegasus, Project Pegasus. I think he's a Project Pegasus.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So we still have some Satana stuff we're going to wrap up, which we can kind of work into here. Have you heard of Monarch Skystalker?
No, not at all.
Okay, so that's from Marvel Premiere, the magazine, number 32. I think he only had like one appearance. I thought we could check out Weird World. I've always wanted to read something from Weird World.
Yeah.
We have done 0 Western stuff to date. So the coming of Caleb Hammer. I would love to do a one-off Western, like introducing a Western character that didn't really take off. I'd love to read the first Iron Fist or some early Iron Fist. Maybe just grab something at random back when it was full-on grindhouse kung fu, whatever stuff.
And so is this for a final season or is this kind of mixed in with this season as well?
It's mostly final season.
Okay, mostly final season.
I think this season's going to be mostly Bloodstone and staggered out. So this is like the future of the Shadow Show post Bloodstone. Sorry, I wasn't being
Gotcha. So yeah, the only thing that if we're doing Creature Commandos, since we're doing Creature Commandos this season, I would love to incorporate maybe talking about the series or even the first issue of War is Hell.
Ooh, writing it down now.
Because I think that fits the bill completely.
Yep.
You got Supernatural. It's a war comic. And so I was definitely very vocal in the first couple seasons of the show about how much I love the DC comic War is Hell. And I would love to, let's figure out some way to talk about that as well. That's the only thing that came to mind.
That's awesome. It's on the list now. I thought it'd be fun to randomly, maybe not read entirely, but randomly go through an issue of an Eerie Publications magazine, the
That could be fun.
sleazy cousin of Eerie and Creepy. Maybe a random Skywald-ish. We're definitely going to talk about a Skywald story. I would love to, we've said like our format doesn't really make sense for us to do like anthology stuff, but if we're doing it in this format and we're just doing one, why not do Charlton, like Wolfstein, Baron Wolfstein, or Monster Hunter, or Creepy Things, or, something. There's tons of Charlton horror stuff that I think would be good. I would really like to do Hellrider.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we could do that.
In the first issue, I thought we could maybe break it up into 3 because I never knew this. I kind of flipped through it a little bit. It starts with Hellrider, which is a pre-Ghost Rider character that the same who made that? Totally blanking on his name. The guy that made Ghost Rider. Just gone.
Friedrich,
thank you.
Yeah,
so Friedrich wrote Hellrider before for Skywald. And the magazine is broken up in 3 interconnected stories with 3 totally different things. So it's Hellrider, and then a black superhero character named Butterfly that's based out of Vegas, and then a biker gang. And they're all connected. All the stories are interconnected.
When is this from?
From Skywald. It's Hellrider number 1. It was 3 features. So I thought we could do Hellrider 1 over 3 episodes and do
That's a great idea.
The Butterfly, and then they're called the Wild Ones or something like that, the biker gang. But they're all interconnected, so it's all one story.
That's great. Skywald is so awesome and bizarre and sleazy. And the only other thing I thought of also for our final, season of Shadow shows is that, maybe we could do, when you were talking about, I'd thought of this before, but you were talking about the anthology books. And I was thinking, House of Mystery, House of Secrets, all that. And you're right, it is very difficult to do that. But what if I curated like a shadow show that was just Alfredo Alcala stories from DC, from this. And so we do like a little chronological, a little spotlight on Alcala, since we have talked about him so much, and he is my personal god. So, and my favorite artist of all time.
It's on the list.
Something like that. I mean, just doing special things that kind of, we've been dancing around this whole time. So that'd be another suggestion. The show bought us copies of Skull the Slayer because it's maximum 70s weirdness, Bermuda Triangle, dimensional, whatever. So we're going to do the first issue of Skull the Slayer, and Jason Feinstone is going to join us on that one. Sweet.
Because he mentioned it as a suggestion, and he has it, so we got to have him on. And then also I just got I, Vampire, the DeMatteis DC thing that was started in House of Mystery. I thought we could randomly, it might be more fun to just pick one at random, because how fun was that to talk with the Marvel by the Month guys about that random man thing about the candle? It might be even more fun just to pick one out randomly from the middle of a run and just kind of jump in. But I just flipped that book open today, and there was a story. It was him sitting in a movie theater watching Woodstock, and then the camera, just like an Omega Man, and the camera pushes in on a hippie girl who's crying, and then she has her arm around no one there, and there's hippies in the audience going, what is she doing, man? And he's he's crying because it's him.
What?
Not captured on film at Woodstock with a hippie girl, and then it flashes back and tells that story, and I was like, we've got to do that issue.
Okay, let's do that issue. Put that, mark it, dude.
All right. I, Vampire, Woodstock.
You got to share this document with me, because I bet it looks ridiculous.
Yes, I think I did share it with you, but I'll double check. Okay, cool. So that is the vibe, folks, for season 7 of the Shadow Show. It's going to be a bunch of stuff like that. Again, it's us going out on a high note and just kind of hitting some things we love. Like you said, War is Hell. I'm so glad we're doing that, because you have been professing your love for that since season 1. So let's do it.
Awesome.
Cool, folks. Well, that's a taste of that. So we're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to review that crazy Filipino comics movie that we talked about. But if you're digging what we're doing here and you would like some more, please go to patreon.com/Bronze Age Monsters and support us at a tier to get the audio or the video of the show. It's affordable and it's fun. That's good for you. And it might lower your cholesterol, although we haven't done a double blind on that yet.
Yeah, blood pressure for sure. I don't know about cholesterol.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes, and your vitamin Twin Peaks will always be maxed out. You'll be urinating extra Twin Peaks.
I'm drinking just for the words.
Okay, we'll be right back with our talk about Zuma from 1985.
All right, welcome back. We are going to review a movie that we watched with our watch along. This is from 1985. It is a Filipino film called Zuma. So, Matt, what made you choose this for our Dr. Medusa movie?
Well, she has snakes for hair, and this character is snake affiliated.
He is snake affiliated.
I'm trying to think of how this guy came through my transom in the first place. I think around 2002, I got really into weird 60s live action superhero movies from like Europe. So it started with this movie called The Three Fantastic Supermen from Italy. It's kind of a mashup of like the Batman live action show meets James Bond meets like, I don't know, weird wrestling comedies or something. Like, so, and that just opened up a whole world. I mean, there's a whole world. I got Super Argo back here. Criminal is kind of like diabolic. He's a thief. There's tons of them. Goldface. I love this stuff. I was obsessed with it for a while. So I'm imagining I came across it somehow through that. Just pouring through the internet and looking for comics-based live-action movies. So, yeah, I think that's what it was. And I definitely found it through Cinemageddon, which is the Psychotronic movie torrent members-only site. And that's where I found, I mean, you could hear a death rattle whisper from a guy and a director in a hut in Guatemala saying, "I made a weird snuff film in 1972." And they'll have it. Cinemageddon will. Like, it has been the source of every grail of my Psychotronic film quest. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you've talked about it for years. And so how available is Zuma to the general public?
So one could see this on, I believe, YouTube, but in Tagalog. So we watched it. Fortunately, somebody was kind enough to subtitle this so we could at least follow what was going on. Not that it's the most complex script, but it's strange.
It's very strange.
So, so when we pick, we kind of vote and say which Creature Commando should get the movie themed for this week. And so folks were voting for Dr. Medusa. I think everyone's kind of in love with her in the last, since she got introduced. Yeah. She's the star of the show right now.
She's so awesome.
So, yeah, I mean, I thought, well, I know Hammer made a classy movie called The Gorgon with Cushing and Lee, and we're probably going to watch that, but that's like pretty well respected. Like, it's Hammer, it's classy, it's got a budget, it was filmed in a nice studio. And like, we'll save that. Let's watch something weird. And this is something I'd always wanted to see, downloaded it many years ago, so it seemed like a good chance to do it. So we watched it. And so Zuma is a Filipino comic book character created by Jim Fernandez in 1974. He first appeared in a serial written by him entitled Aztec. And as Jacob has talked about the Filipino artists many times on the show, the comics industry in the Philippines is huge, much more revered than it is in the States, and probably sell more books about the same as we do, considering the size of the country compared,
Seriously.
They sell a lot of comics there. So this guy is, he is a descendant of, who's he descendant of? I'm totally blanking on. He's an Aztec god. He's a demigod. But, I want Teo, the feathered serpent, something like that, right? It's not Quetzalcoatl. It's another.
It's not Quetzalcoatl. It was Teotihuacan. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so this character essentially is a villain, which I love a good villain character as the main character in the story. I love Diabolic, Criminal. He's another Italian fumetti character. I love these guys are the bad guys, and you're following them just like Tomb of Dracula, where it's like, turns the whole kind of narrative thing on its head. You don't have to be identifying with the main character and rooting for them, or you can. But I mean, this idea that a villain can be the anchoring character in a story, I think is really fun.
Yeah.
So, so we watched this, and it was released in 1985. There's two films in the series, 85 and 87. And then there was like a remake of the first one, I think like in 2008, around there. Probably a little slicker, a little bit bigger budget. Jacob was joking that people were saying that this is 1985. It looks like 1975.
It does.
Production value, which that happens. We just watched a crazy Turkish movie for our first Psychotronic Sunday that was filmed in 1972 in Turkey, and it looks like it was made in 1952. It's just, different countries have different budgets and things going on and production value for their movies. So this was one of those. However, I think that the titular character looked pretty fucking cool.
He did. He looked really good.
I mean, we're showing some video and some comics here, so there's a lot of filler going on while we're talking, but.
So he's an enormous bald-headed man who has, it looks like he has a giant snake around his shoulders, but it's actually a two-headed snake, and it grows out of him. So it is literally part of his body.
Yes.
And, the character design on him is pretty incredible, and it looks pretty decent in this movie.
It does.
Yeah.
So, one funny thing that a lot of times these movies like this are, stretching and adding stuff to be like feature length so it can be released in a theater. So it's like add in a comic relief character so we can make this 70 minutes so we can play it in theaters. This one we all were watching together, and at one point I don't know if I paused it or I hovered over the screen and the playback head came up and it was like 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm like, that can't be right.
No.
And, I was thinking, well, a lot of times with these weird movies like this, when it's a VHS rip from a VHS tape, like a lot of times I would buy these from like bootleggers in the early aughts, and it would be like the movie, an hour, 85 minutes, and then 15 minutes of blue screen that said no input, and then another random movie would start, just some acid western or some weird,
That's right.
Something. So like, oh, it's probably just... Or sometimes the movie starts over again, like just weird stuff like that. But I thought it was something like that, but it was 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh my God. It was 2 hours and 20 minutes long. And so I love that you said that. Like you said that at a part, once you realized the actual runtime, you were like, okay, everybody, I'm really sorry. And you said that thing. You're just like, I thought this was just going to be like static after 75 minutes, but nope, this is it. And you were like, I understand if someone has to dip, if you got other stuff to do, like I totally get it.
Yep.
No, we like stood in solidarity and watched the entire 2 hours and 21 minutes that is this film. My wife, Alicia, doesn't jump on the watch-alongs hardly at all. She jumped on for that one, and it was just like, is this just what it is now?
Yeah.
Is it just like 2.5 hours of bizarre shit?
It was like
sometimes.
It felt to me like an episode of Little House or something like that. Like there's a flood coming and everybody comes together to stack up, sacks of grain to stop the one farm from being flooded. Like that's who we are. This is who we are.
No, it is. We stood together as a family and endured Zuma in all of its 2 hours and 21 minutes glory.
Okay. So I think we talked about, we're going to briefly talk about this plot because it's bananas. And if you really, really want to see this, email Bronze Age Monsters at Gmail and I'll hook you up with a Google Drive link and with the subtitles. So if you have VLC or some other media player where you can add subtitles in and you really want to see this, I will help you. However, like I said, you can watch it in Tagalog on YouTube and it is not hard to follow. It's just weird. So briefly, it starts off with a Aztec crypt being discovered, I'm guessing in the Philippines. It's never really clear, is it? I mean, I don't know why there's an Aztec pyramid buried in the Philippines, but there is. And there's a tomb in there. They open it up. Zuma's in there. He gets loose. And there's this prolonged sequence where he's stalking modern Manila and he's attacking women and murdering them and whatever. And at one point, there's some sexual violence. I will mention that as a trigger thing. He does impregnate a woman. And there's some really weird stuff with like his super sperm where like it's I think the woman that he essentially rapes and impregnates goes mad and becomes like his Renfield kind of, right? Am I remembering this right? It's been a couple weeks. And I think there's even like a weird like aliens type of like thing where there's like a fetus or some type of weird squiggly squirmy John Carpenter-y thing that falls out of her and like squiddles off like and like off the hospital floor.
It's horrifying.
So all this is to say that he has a daughter And it's a true daughter of him. Her name's Ganima, and she also has these snakes, but she hides them under her hair. And she is raised by humankind parents, so she's an enemy of her father, and so she's like a force of good. And this that beat happens at about the 1 hour and 10-minute mark, where that's where we're kind of like, I think at one point that's when we figured out like, wait, this isn't over, and then that's when I was like, I checked the playback and I was like, oh no, wait, what?
But I think also what we were thinking, what we were kind of theorizing as we were watching this on the watch along, we're just like, oh no, this is like the first part and the sequel, like combined together as one film. Nope. There's just a time jump.
Nope. There's just a time jump and it starts. And there is a sequel. Jacob, you'll be happy to know that Ganima has a child. Or no, sorry, he fathers another child with another woman.
Oh, great.
To fight Ganima. And his name is, I think, Dino Boy. And his head, he has the head of a T-Rex and the tail of a T-Rex and the body of a human baby. And I've been looking him up. Apparently, he joins his father and fights against the humans and spreads fear and pain and suffering. But at some point, he does side with his sister and turn against his father in the comics.
Well, now I have to watch it. Why did you even tell me?
Because I wanted you to say that you needed to watch part 2.
I do need to watch part 2
he's in part
now.
2.
And I hate myself now.
And it's also 2 hours. I checked.
Oh, no. Why didn't you lead with that? Now I'm already stuck.
So we're going to watch it.
Oh, God.
I think this will probably be one where you and I show up and suck down some Rainier, and maybe Rob Haferman will show up, and that'll be about it. I don't know how much other people will show up for that. You know, they were cool and they hung tight with us through that whole thing, but I don't know how much they're going to hang out for a whole another one. I'm 100% in, by the way.
Okay, no, I'll do it, but I probably will need psychedelics.
That will probably help.
Yeah.
So the second half of this film is his daughter kind of rising up to fight against her father. I believe he was like dead and then he got resurrected or something in the second half. It felt like 2 movies stitched into one. It really did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So I don't think we're going to belabor this that much, but I mean, there's cool stuff. You know, the snakeheads like strike out and could eat people's heads. I don't know if that happened in the movie. It happens in the comics. But I mean, he looks amazing. He's bald and painted green like Drax the Destroyer, but he has snakes attached to his shoulders. Like,
and he's enormous.
He's enormous, and he's evil. I mean,
he looked pretty good.
I think he looks cool.
He does look cool. They did a really good job with that.
Look pretty good, in my opinion.
They do.
Budget. So, all that was just a way to get you to say, I'm going to watch Zuma 2, and you said it. So, and it's recorded.
Damn it. I have to do it now. You conned me again. It was a long con on that one, and I fell for it yet again.
5D chess, my friend. 5D chess. So, this is a hard one to rate, per se. However, you know, I don't know. What would you say? I'm going to say it's thumbs up just because it's utterly bizarre. If I were watching it on the couch by myself, I would have been a little frustrated. Particularly with how some of the repetitive scenes, like when he was stalking women in the first like 30 minutes of the film, it was just like Jason killing campers, but over and over again.
So many times.
Yeah. And I think it even happened again. Like he stalked women again. So I was frustrated with it, and it's deeply flawed. But I'm going to have to say thumbs up because it was so fucking bizarre.
I mean, I'm going to give it a thumbs up again, you know, claw up specifically.
Sorry, claw.
And I think that, it was goofy and bizarre and way too long. But I think, again, what we say a lot of times when we're reviewing these movies is it's always in the context of the watch along. So with this one, like we were spiritual warriors finishing that. Like it was almost like, you know, Hodorowski was going to come out and just be like, this is what you're doing, you know? And so I don't know. It felt like a very weird spiritual journey that we all took. No one tapped out. We all became one with the exomind while watching it. And claw up for me, film wise, and claw up for me, watch along experience wise. This is a good segue. We try not to say this too much, but if you're a patron, and you're not on our Discord, please get on our Discord because we would love to talk with you. We say your name every week on the show. So if you're a patron and you're not on the Discord, just jump on. Just jump on and say, hey, we'd love to talk with you. Anyone that is on the Patreon and on our Discord, please join our watch along, even just once. We would love to see you. It's so much fun. It is just, I think just the community that we have has been around, these monster comics. And it started with that. And we found some of our best friends. We found this little community. We've had really cool experiences. And I feel like the watch alongs really kind of distill all that greatness into just an hour and a half, 2 hours of just hanging out on a Sunday with your buds, watching an insane movie that would be kind of painful to watch on your own. So many of these have the context of that because it was in the watch along, I had a blast.
Right. If you are inclined to check it out on YouTube, if you Google Zuma 1985 and find that one that's in Tagalog, it might be great just to turn the volume down and put on some records you like some Mastodon or some kind of Sleep or some kind of stoner metal, like sludgy stoner metal kind of, I think would be good. Any other music suggestion pairings you would suggest?
I would recommend Sun's, or what looks like Sun O.
Sun O,
yeah. But I would recommend Sun's Life Metal for this one, actually, where every song is like 14 minutes and kind of one chord, but then you notice the intonations, man, and then it all just explodes your mind.
Yes.
So that's what I would recommend for watching this one.
I've never checked them out. I've always meant to. They sound like something I would be into when I'm in the mood. May I
they're early.
No, go ahead.
Yes. Oh no, I was just going to say their earlier records are a little just more like normal sludgy, but then they get drone. They get drone in a way that it really just sucks you in. So I do recommend their later records.
Another pairing suggestion from Matt Howell. Earth, the Bees Made Honey, and the Lion's Skull. I think that would be a good soundtrack.
Ooh, I don't know if I know that one.
Really? Oh my God, listen to it. You're going to love it.
Okay.
It's all just like that sun-baked, blasted, kind of peyote, drawn out, kind of like Dead Man soundtrack, like that kind of vibe. Yeah, you'll love it.
I love it. Cool.
And kind of droney, too, like a droney take on that. Cool. Okay, so that's Zuma. And apparently the sequels in our future, I'm going to give us a break, though. I think we deserve a break.
We do.
Like Ross and Rachel. Like, it's a break.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not coming up next week or anything. It's going to be a couple months.
All right.
We deserve that. So the next movie we're going to be talking about on the next Shadow Show will be Frankenstein's Daughter from 1957, starring John Ashley, who's a guy that I love as a B-movie film star. And so
he's great. Schlock. So, very excited to talk to you about that.
Cool. Well, this was a free Shadow Show. This is pretty much what this is representative. This is representative.
It's really representative. It's maybe not this long every time, but we wanted to kind of, show people around, give them a tour a little bit. And so
I wanted to lay back in the cut.
Yeah.
That's what
this is very representative of what our shadow shows are all about. Talking about a storyline. This week, this time it's Bloodstone. Talking about a movie. We talk about our lives. We have different segments. It's it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we let our hair down, and we might even talk about Twin Peaks or something. Sometimes it comes up.
Every once in a while it'll come up. Yeah.
Way more buttoned down or unbuttoned. Hair down, unbuttoned, shoes off. Wait, shoes on, glasses on, hair down. What is it? What are we doing here?
What are we doing here? Okay.
We're chill.
We are chill.
This is the silk pajamas version of the main show.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Let's go for that.
Yeah. I'm not talking Family Guy fucking pajamas at the Fred Meyer at Kroger. That's not. No. I'm saying silk pajamas, smoking jacket. Cigarette with that long filtery thing.
Yep. One of those, or a pipe. Got to go with the pipe too.
Snifter.
Yep. Snifter or brandy. Yeah. That's what the Shadow Show is all about.
Nailed it.
All right.
All right.
So what we normally do for a long time now, at least starting in the Son of Satan season, we would have our sign off, and normally for a long time I would have my 16-pound cat named Sweet Pea who would sit next to me. And she doesn't do that anymore. And let me tell you why she doesn't do that anymore.
She's smart.
Because she's smart. Because every time, Matt and I, we would end our shows with a little Hail Satan, because we were talking about Damon Hellstrom, and just because we like Satan and Satan movies, and devil movies, so we would always give a little Hail Satan at the end. And so Sweet Pea would let me hold her, take her paw, and go like Hail Satan, and give her a little squeeze, and she'd be like, "Ugh." She would be kind of pained and kind of annoyed,
bagpipe.
But she was a little bit of a bagpipe wheeze she would give as I would squeeze her. We got a lot of mileage out of that. But Sweet Pea has retired. She now is on just the couch over there and doesn't come near the chair when I podcast.
Not expired, retired. Let's be clear.
Yeah, she retired.
ASPCA's out there.
I didn't squeeze her that hard. She's fine. But so that started our little sign off, and we kept it because why change it? So, at the end of our shadow shows, we say, Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. That was the shadow show right there.
That's a shadow show.